Let's start with a question. If you're an investor, a business owner, or someone building something that needs to scale globally, where do you set up shop? You need low costs, but you also need access to markets. You need infrastructure, but you also need incentives that make the math work. You need stability, but you also need growth potential. Most places give you one or two of those things. Morocco is quietly offering all of them. And if you're not paying attention yet, you should be. Because what's happening in Morocco right now isn't just interesting. It's a rare alignment of geography, policy, and timing that creates real opportunity. Let me show you why. Here's the first thing you need to understand. Morocco isn't just sitting on a map somewhere in North Africa. It's sitting at one of the most strategic points on the planet. Look at the globe. You've got Europe to the north, just 15 kilometers across Spain. You've got Africa stretching south, and you've got the Atlantic Ocean opening west toward the Americas. Now, that geography alone doesn't mean much unless you do something with it. And Morocco did. They built Tangermed, a massive port complex in the north. Fourth according to the World Bank and first in Africa. It handled over 10 million containers in 2024 and it's still growing. That makes it the largest port in the African region. Okay, so location matters, but here's what makes Morocco even more interesting. It's not just about physical proximity to markets, it's about legal access to them. Morocco has something most countries don't: free trade agreements with both the European Union and the United States. Now, there are rules, product-specific rules of origin, compliance requirements, all of that. But the framework is there. And for the right products, that means your goods can enter those markets with lower tariffs and duty-free status. And here's the kicker. Morocco isn't just sitting back and hoping this works. They've rolled out a new investment charter, a major policy framework adopted in 2022 that explicitly targets export-driven industries and internationalization of Moroccan firms. Translation: the government is saying, we want you to build here, export from here, and grow from here. They're backing that with incentives, streamlined approvals, and infrastructure investments. It's a national strategy, not just a marketing pitch. Now, let's talk about what Morocco has actually built. Because this isn't just theory. 15 years ago, Morocco automotive industry basically didn't exist. And today, it's the country's #1 export sector. In 2024 alone, automotive export reaches 157 billion Moroccan dirhams. That's roughly $14 billion. Let me say that again. Morocco went from nearly zero automotive production to $14 billion in annual exports in about a decade and a half. That's not incremental growth, that's a full-scale industrial transformation. They didn't just open a factory and hope for the best, they built an ecosystem. Renault set up a major plant, Peugeot follow up, then suppliers moved in. Companies making wiring, seats, electronics, parts. You've got over 250 automotive suppliers now operating in Morocco. But here's where it gets more interesting. Morocco isn't trying to win on low-cost assembly forever. They're moving up the value chain. The country is now actively targeting electric vehicle manufacturing and battery production, the next wave of automotive industry. This isn't just about cars, by the way. Morocco is also growing in electronics, textiles, aerospace components, and more. The point is, they've proven they can build a globally competitive manufacturing base fast. Now, let's shift gears. Because Morocco isn't just positioning itself as a place to make things, it's positioning itself as a place to run things. Casablanca Finance City, or CFC, is Morocco's answer to Dubai, Luxembourg, or Singapore. It's a special financial zone designed to attract regional HQs, financial services firms, fund managers, and corporate service providers who want a base to serve Africa and Europe. Think of it as the business brain to complement the manufacturing muscle. Alright, let's talk money, because infrastructure and location only matter if the economy works. And in Morocco's case, they really do. The country has set up a system of free export zones, special economic zones where companies focused on exports get serious tax advantages. And here's what that looks like. If you set up in one of these zones, you get zero corporate income tax for the first 5 years, not reduced, zero. Morocco's incentive stack is one of the most competitive in the world. And it's not just on paper, companies are using it, the zones are filling up, and the model works. Now, let's talk about people. Because you can have all the infrastructure and incentives in the world, but if you can't staff your operations, it doesn't matter. Morocco has a young, growing workforce. The country created 282,000 jobs in Q1 2025 alone. As unemployment drops to around 13.3%, that's a labor market with momentum. And here's the key thing. The workforce isn't just available, it's trained. After years of investment in the automotive, electronics, and textile sectors, Morocco now has a pool of workers with real manufacturing skills. And the cost advantage is real. And when you combine that with infrastructure, trade access, and incentives we talked about, the total cost equation starts to look really compelling. Now, let's be honest. All the incentives and infrastructure in the world don't matter if the country is politically unstable, if regulations change overnight, or if you are constantly worried about risk. Morocco isn't perfect, no country is, but compared to many emerging markets, and even compared to parts of Europe and other regions, Morocco offers something increasingly rare: relative stability. The government has shown a consistent commitment to economic reforms. The investment charter, the infrastructure projects, the trade agreements, these aren't one-off moves. They're part of a multi-decade strategy to transform Morocco into a competitive, globally integrated economy. So here's the question. Are you going to wait until everyone else figures this out? Or are you going to take a serious look now, while there is room to move, negotiate, and build something that lasts? Because Morocco isn't standing still, it's moving fast. And if you want to be part of what's being built here, now it's time to pay attention.